Hi, my name is Lennart Svensson. I'm an amateur shaper of windsurfing boards. I've built about 10 to 15 boards over the last 4 or 5 years, and I'd like to take you along the journey on how to create one of these. This is one of the latest concept boards that I made. I wanted to try out some features on this one, especially the width. This is a 91 liter board, but still it's almost 64.5 wide. I wanted to verify also the rocker line, how it works in the water, the volume distribution, a little bit of the tail rocker, and so I got some knowledge now of what works and what doesn't work. Well, this is kind of one of the ready boards that I made. And I will take you along the journey now to see how one of these boards are made. To start with, I use an EPS foam block, normally 200 thick, and about 1 meter wide, 2.5 meters long. Sometimes I get one single block. Sometimes I get pieces and I have to glue them together. I use Gorilla polyurethane glue. In this case, in this board that I've made, this actually consists of 4 pieces that I glue together. So I get a center line on this one. When I have the block ready, I use different kinds of models. I started a couple of years ago with one of my main boards, a Patrick board. So I made a template out of that one, and then I've been using some of the shaper programs like Accu Shaper and 3D Shape board CAD. 3D Shape is the one I use. Hi, when designing the board, I have a general feeling of what I want with the length of the board, the width and the volume. And in order to really see what this looks like, I use a program called Shape 3D. And in this program, I can input all the details that I would like to have. I can input the length of the board, the width of the board, the maximum thickness. And by inputting this, I can see here, like in this case, I have a tail rocker of 2.6, which is slight rocker, not too much. And then in the front, I have a nose rocker here of 130 millimeters. In this case, it gives me a volume of 92 liters. This will change a little bit depending when you do the hand shaping. It will not come out exactly. You might do some smaller changes, but at least this gives a general feeling of the board. And then in order to see this, I can look at this in a different way. I can look at it in a 3D model here to see what it looks like. Do I like this? How's the different shapes? From different angles, and see the lines, if I like the lines on this board, the thickness, and if the lines are, if it's smooth, the outline here, does it look good? So, and when I'm happy with this, I can print out some plans, and in this case, this is the main one that I use because it gives me the length, the width of the different sections, and also the tail rocker. For me, there are certain parts that are very important for me. Is the width, which is 630, is the 1 foot off in the tail. In this case, is 41.4 centimeters. And this here is important in a freestyle board to enable the pop and get the pop of this volume and my weight, because if it's too wide, it's going to be difficult to pop, and it will be more difficult to get up in the plane as well, actually. And also here you can see I have a very straight line, so here will be sharp rails all the way up to here, very sharp rails to get an early planing board. Also very flat rocker line, just a slight rocker here, and this is also to get an early planing. So when I'm happy with this, I print this out on a piece of paper, and then I use this as a guideline when I do my hand shaping of the block. To start with, I printed out and made some templates of the rocker line, 2 of them equally, like this. And when you have the square block, you use, I have holes here, I use nails and I put this on each side. And then I use a wire cutter. There are many ways of using a wire cutter, or many different types of wire cutters, and there are plenty of videos online on how to make them. I have made a very, very rude, simple one, just a couple of pieces of wood and a wire. And then I'm actually using a normal battery charger. And I found now the thickness of this wire works really good with this one. It's a little bit slow, but I'm not in a hurry when utilizing it, so it works really well. And then by using this one, I can cut the profile of the boards. When that is done, what I do is I take and have an outline that I made out of cardboard. So this is half the board as outline. So I put this one on top, on the bottom side, and I make it a rough outline, and leaving a little bit 1 to 2 centimeters outside, and just cutting it with a normal saw. After that, when you have the raw shape, and this is kind of what you see, like the raw shape. There are some bumps here and here, but since you have some margin, after that what you do is, like I've done now, this one is already now almost finished, the bottom part. So here I have used my shaping tools, and today I'm using this one. It's from Green Surf Supply in US, but you can easily also use your own. It's no problem. In this case here I have one that I made out of just a piece of wood and a really raw sandpaper. Here is a little bit with a finer sandpaper, just to do it when the final parts. So you can use these ones. Works really well. After that, when you have this shape that I want to do, I always start with the bottom shape to get the profile, or the rocker line as it's called, of the board. And you have a rocker line, it's from the front to the back. And when you leave it like this, you have a balance point of the rocker line. And in my case, I like to have it around 1 meter. Looking at, if I push this one down here, if I look here on this part, this is almost flat. Sometimes I like to take it a little bit down, and in this case I have it about 2 millimeters here at the end, at the tail of the board. So I have a slight tail rocker of 2 millimeters. And then on the front one, this board will have a nose rocker that I measure with just a normal square like this, and I measure this to around 13 centimeters or 130 millimeters. So that is how you start working. So now when the bottom part is done, I will now move over to the top part of the board and then start shaping this one. And when I have this one down, then I will go and align the sides of this board and do the more detailed outline of it. But I will come back with with how I take this one further as we go along here. So this is the first part here, just how to get the raw block into something that almost looks like a windsurfing board, even if it's very far away from what I just showed you in the beginning. It takes a lot of time and trial and error, and that's what I like, and how to see if I do some changes, how that will be on the water, what happens on the water when I do these changes. So that's this is the first part of the series. So stay tuned for the next. And also as a keen windsurfer, I'm also a distributor. I have my own company. It's called Vento Nord. So please go and check the homepage. There you can find some good deals. I also have some used products that might suit you. So thank you very much for this time, and see you in the next part. Bye.